with that, I will introduce today's speakers. Joining us today are Scott Osborne and actor Cindy Collins with a No Title Needed show. They tape every Monday at Feinstein's, just miles from my house at the Hotel Carmichael, featuring some familiar guests like Pete Ward and Ashton Gleckman. Cindy is co-founder of the Actors Theater of Indiana, has toured nationally and has many television film credits. Um, we'll let you tell us more about that later, Cindy. Scott is a graduate of the Heron School of Art and Design, has been creating the showcasing art, and showcasing art, the life cycle of a butterfly, a favorite among travelers along the Monon Trail, was designed by Scott. I've seen that. So please, Cindy and Scott, thank you for coming and welcome.
Thanks. Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Jeff. Um, let's give you a little give you a quick little background about each of us. Um, Scotty, I'll go first if you don't mind. Just
Right.
thank you. Yeah, like Jeff said, I'm a professional actor. I've been in the business about 36 years now. Grew up in New Jersey. I'm a New Jersey native. My dad was a Kiwanian for 36 years, so I am familiar with Kiwanis. And grew up right outside New York City and just started performing right out of college. And I've been pretty lucky and pretty fortunate. And in 2005, I moved to Indiana with two other actors from New York to co-found Actors Theater of Indiana, the professional resident theater company at the Center for the Performing Arts in Carmel, Indiana. So here we are, and and I was one of the artistic directors there. And in 2023, I backed away from the company as an artistic director, and to get back full time to my acting career. Um, when you're running a company, you can all imagine there's no time to do anything else but run that company and make sure it stays afloat, especially a not-for-profit, which I know you guys are very familiar with not-for-profits, of course. Um, but yeah, that's it. And Scott's mom, Meg Osborne, uh, who knows Meg here? I was somebody who was just asking about her. Yes.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Hey, um, Meg is the producer of No Title Needed, and she asked me to come on board with Scotty and co-host the podcast, which we do from the beautiful Feinstein's Cabaret at the Hotel Carmichael in Carmel, Indiana. So that's me in a nutshell. And so I'm the performing artist, and Scott is the visual artist, as you can see.
Yeah.
He's at his studio right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, go Scott, go.
Yeah. So I'm a visual artist. I went to Heron, started as an illustration major. And actually, the real story is I failed 3D art as a freshman and overslept the final. Had a great relationship with that teacher, and he wanted to push me. So he failed me, and I'm glad he did. I found out about a whole nother building my junior year while I was at Heron, and it was Eskenazi Fine Arts Center where the sculpting and ceramics are done. Um, Had a whole shift, changed my focus, fell in love with ceramics. Then that got me into, the very next semester I took a sculpture class, and it was all uh, down and uphill from there. So I fell in love with it and had 10 pieces throughout Indianapolis and Carmel, public art pieces. And then I am also a potter. I'm actually in the ceramic studio right now. And I teach out of here. I also, throw in all sorts of, sell that kind of work. And I'm gotten into painting as well. And, but it's more of a sculptural painting. I paint in the round with a drill. So it's a whole different kind of process. And some of the examples are behind me. But yeah, I've been doing this now for 12 years. Well, 14 if you count my early introduction, and kind of just, every day I'm living the dream, coming here and getting to work. And, you know, it's pretty wonderful.
Yeah, I think we what makes the and talking about our podcast that we have now, no title needed. Scott, I think it's a nice combination of the two of us, and I think Scott agrees.
Mhm.
Two of us have a really nice rapport, and even when I'm teasing him and you know giving him hell, I'm kidding. But
Yeah.
he's, here I am, the performing artist. Here he's the visual artist. So we're both artists, but two completely different sides of the spectrum, really, in the art world. So I think it's nice that we both bring, as I'm saying, both artists, but we both bring a different area of the arts to the show. And I
Right.
think that reflects on the guests because our guests are so eclectic. When you say Scott, I mean,
Oh, yeah, we have a very wide range,
of yeah,
and I think we between the two of us really have a good understanding on most topics that come our way, which is pretty fun.
yeah,
Uh,
and right. And even if we don't like that you said we had Pete Ward on from the Colts. We
well,
also
I'm a
have Mike.
hard Colts fan, so we had that in common too.
Exactly. You're a big Colts fan. I don't watch football. No offense. I love athletics. And I appreciate all athletes and all sports. I'm just not a diehard,
Mhm.
watcher of football. But it was so interesting. And Mike Murphy too from the
Right.
Colts. And Mike is oh my gosh,
Mhm.
what was Mike, the defensive coach,
Defensive coordinator, yeah,
defensive coordinator for the Colts for like 10 years or something.
current,
Um, and
yeah.
he's a great guy. Well, we had him on twice. He was so interesting. So
Happy to come back.
we'd love to have him back for a third time. Exactly. So we are so open to all kinds of guests. I think that's what makes the podcast interesting. We're not stuck in any kind of a box. We appreciate anybody who's sitting across that table from us, and it's a very casual show. We sit at the
Yeah,
table at Feinstein's and we chat. There's
yep.
no script. There's nothing. I don't plan any questions. Scott, you do sometimes, but it's still very natural.
Yeah, and you can often see what the importance, the current importance of the guest actually is, which is because it's a free range. What do you want to talk about? And whether that be your passion, whether that gets what gets you out of bed in the morning, or whether that be your ongoing business project, which you are excessively passionate about. It doesn't, we give that range of the individual kind of dictating how that show is operating at that time. And I think that's special. Each individual gets their own format in a way. But
Yep, that's right. That's true. We don't press anything. We don't tell them what they have to say. We just let them go because it's right, it's their time. It's their time. It's not ours. It's all about the guest.
mhm.
And we try to make them feel very comfortable. And I think Scott, I think everybody does feel really comfortable when on the show with us.
Right. It's funny to see them walk in and feel uncomfortable, and then after 30 minutes of warming up, by the time
Yeah.
sitting in the booth, everything is very casual and
Yeah. And our director, Philip Peluso, who the three-shot cameras and everything. And Scott, you help set that up with Philip
I
every
got it
week.
all. I was set up in camera two originally, and then
Yes.
we had another host step away, and I was in the room at the time.
Yeah. Well, it's good that you did. But yeah, Philip talks to the guest. He talks to him. He gets them to feel comfortable at first, and then you know, here we come. How are you? Let's sit down. Let's just go.
Mhm.
I don't like to be restricted. I just like it to be natural, and that way the guest just talks about what they feel comfortable about. Like Scotty said, what are you doing right now? What do you have coming up? We like to feature that. Because like I said, it's their time and it's quick. It's a 20-minute altogether podcast. So, right? So we have like a 9-minute section, the sponsor, we have a little sponsor video, and then another 9-minute section, and it's done. And the guest is always like, "Oh, wow, oh, we're fat,
Yeah,
we're going
halfway.
fast."
All right, we got 9 minutes left. What do you want to hit?
Yeah, right. And I always feel bad. I'm like, "Oh, we got to wrap it up," and I always feel bad doing that. But Philip keeps us on track. He starts doing his, genuflecting over there on the side behind the camera, doing his aerobics, telling telling us to wrap it up, speed it up. But we really enjoy it. I really enjoy it every week. It's nice. It's refreshing. And
Yes.
and it's just so natural, and that's what I love about it, you know? I mean, anyone here in the Kiwanis Club could be on the show. And everyone has a story, and everyone has something going on in their lives. And we are always open to anyone coming on the show and talking about their life and what they're doing, you know? So,
Yeah.
um, does anybody have any questions or anything that, about the show at all? Or,
My
um,
first question was, what was the um, what was going on when you said, you know what, we can't come up with a title, so no title needed. Is that kind of how it was? Like, we can't come up with it, so
yeah, Jeff, you're right.
We
We're
didn't want
kind
to
of all,
umbrella. We didn't want to get, eliminate options too.
yeah.
So it kept us, kept it open.
Yeah, it did. We were all kind of like sitting around. We're like, all right, what are we going to call it? And we're like, no title. I said, no title necessary. Too long. No title necessary. And I just said, well, no title needed because we don't know. We don't know
But,
what
but no title
it's going to be
necessary
on.
was almost it. We all liked the sound of it at the time. It was,
Yeah. And Scott's right. We kind of didn't want to make it about one thing, because it is kind of eclectic. So yeah, yeah, you're right.
no, we
That was
can't.
it, basically.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
so it's a show about nothing.
Yeah, and about everything.
and everything
A
exactly.
show about nothing and everything. Yes,
Yeah,
that's true. I don't know. I mean, I certainly, Jeff, if you were on the show, I wouldn't say it's about nothing,
yeah.
you know. But
Well,
like we said,
Seinfeld
you
show
go
about.
ahead, Scotty.
They said Seinfeld was a show about nothing, and that did all right.
Yeah, exactly. They did pretty well.
Yeah,
But yeah, like we said, it's important. It's important to feature that person, make them feel, it's important to make that person feel important. And it's important to make them feel what they're doing is important. We've had doctors on, we have had athletes on, we've had entrepreneurs on, we have had actors on, visual artists. We've, I mean, we've had documentary filmmakers. Um, the list goes on.
you got it
You
on
know,
here. Yeah.
I mean, it
Oh, yeah.
really, politicians, uh,
Our makeup artist friend, she had a really interesting story.
uh, yes, we had Bonnie Clevering on. Bonnie was a
Oh yeah.
hair designer, for so many films. I couldn't even start. Aaron Brockovich,
Mhm.
Any Given Sunday. Uh, she's worked with everyone. Ocean's 11. She's retired now and lives in Carmel. We're very lucky to have her on the show.
Yeah.
People like that,
Uh,
really make it interesting for us.
yeah. Yeah. It
Yeah.
has been a fantastic experience. Just the people you do get to meet and the hands you get to shake has been incredible. That I've loved every part of it.
Well, Mike Murphy brought his ring in.
Yeah.
Brought his Super Bowl ring in.
I almost fit two fingers around
I
it.
well, I put it on my leg, but
Yeah.
we all took pictures with it. I mean, that kind of stuff is exciting. That kind of stuff is exciting.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Many of us know Pete Ward with the Colts.
Hmm.
He's not the easiest person to talk to. How,
Oh,
how did how did you get him started?
Oh,
we didn't find out at all.
Really?
It was
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
I just said, how did you get involved? You just start, how did how did this come about? How did you get involved at all with the Colts? He was with them when they were Baltimore Colts.
Right,
He's a
exactly.
young guy.
He's probably the longest tenured person with the Colts.
I think, yes, absolutely. He was just a young guy when he was down there with them.
Yeah, you
And
mentioned.
and it was the head of the Colts then, wasn't it Ursay's father?
Robert.
He said, okay, we're moving, going to Indianapolis. One day they had. He's like, okay, we're going tomorrow. The trucks are coming. We're headed up there. We're changing gears. And Pete's like, so he's like, get your house in order. We're going.
Yeah, that was wild hearing it from his perspective. A story, we've heard a few times, but hearing it from behind the scenes it's a very interesting episode to watch.
Yeah. I liked Pete a lot.
Yeah.
Cindy, did you do any, and not being a football person, did you do any background research at all before your conversation with them?
Uh, this is the information I get. The guest name is given to us in advance, of course, because it's not a live show, so guests are lined up 2 months in advance, and Meg will give us a little snippet about them, who they are,
A
what they're
little
doing.
bio. Uh-huh.
That's it. That's all I want to know. I don't want
Right.
to know anything else. I don't want to know it sounds crazy. The less I know, the better. I want
Right.
to know it right there on the show.
Our audience is typically on the same page as us. So if we don't, and the times that I have done a lot of research, it's often been 5 years old and they've had a lot more accomplishment they want to talk about. And it's all very personal. So that stuff isn't necessarily online, which is why, going back to what Cindy, I prefer having a little less info on them, knowing where to poke the questions at, but keeping a general open mind, because that's what the audience has as well.
Yeah. It makes it flow. It makes it flow more naturally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. 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 We don't want to make it too, my next question,
I've got a couple of questions.
Like to have a few questions loaded before we start.
I just kind of like when they're talking, I'm like, oh, okay. And it just starts flowing, and then I think of something else, and it goes on from there.
And they really respond to that type of.
We have had no problems so far, knock on wood, so far with anyone. They really seem to enjoy it because we've made, like I said, we've all made them feel comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a couple of questions. This is Roger.
Hey, Roger.
I may have missed it. When did you start the podcast doing those?
Scott?
So we've been doing this one now for about a year and a half. But the whole process we're almost 4 years into production of podcasts in general. So we've gotten some experience along the way.
Okay. Then the next question would be to either one of you or both of you. What was your most memorable and which was your worst? Yes. We don't have to know.
You're putting them on the spot.
My God.
We don't have to know the names.
I will. Well, let me say this.
Yeah.
Nobody has been horrible. No one. Some guests, it's a little harder. It's just a little harder sometimes for some guests to pull some stuff out of them.
Right.
While other guests are very, talkative and have no problem diving right in and spewing out their life story, right? So
the less talking we do, the better.
Yeah, exactly. That's the less talking we do, the better. But sometimes you have to coax some things out of them. And so sometimes, you have to know. You'll get the feel, you get the feel of that. So that's a little I wouldn't say a little more difficult, but sometimes it's a little more challenging, right?
Oh, yeah.
The most memorable, I love Mike Murphy.
Yeah.
I love Mike Murphy because Mike is a character. He's the nicest guy, and I'm from the East Coast. He's from the East Coast. He, he's so interesting.
He's
Scotty, who, I mean, of course,
Yeah, he was a lot of fun to be around, and you can just feel that energy. Those people, you know, you can tell when they walk in a room, and those charismatic kind of people, and he was just obviously very memorable and very charismatic.
yeah, and sweet, so sweet. And
Yeah.
and Bonnie Clevering was another one because she's in my, here she is in the entertainment industry, and really she's a quite, I mean, hugely successful hair designer. And her stories, my God, her stories are fantastic. And she has a book and continuity, and that's what she was on to talk about her book, which I have and I read, and it's the stories are just from the early days when she was working on Green Acres. I know all of you remember that was like one of her first doing the hair for Ava Gabor on that. Um, and then she was good friends with Elvis. She's extremely good friends with Julia Roberts. I mean, this woman. So that was I loved that episode myself.
An impressive photo album. It is
Right. And she's a wonderful, kind, sweet, lovely woman as well. Bonnie is just so nice. Those are the two that stick out to me. I enjoy all our guests. I find interest in all of them. But yeah. And
if there is a more difficult one, it's when the heavier topics come out. It's not necessarily the person, but when the topic gets darker, those are probably, because you can't be your same bubbly, responsive self. You got to really, kind of tone it down. You're responding a little bit. In my opinion, that's where I found any kind of difficulty in the.
Yeah, you're right, Scott. We try to keep it light because we want we want everyone to watch the show and not feel, oh, I can't, I don't want to hear that, or I don't, so we do try to keep it very God, maybe light is not the right word, but it is a lighter fare.
Inviting, I think, is like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, inviting. And I sometimes I think every guest though, let me say this, every guest, even if they're talking about something like, all right, we don't get into politics. Let me just tell you that. We don't get into politics at all. But if someone is talking and which side their bread is buttered on, they're all very, like have all said it in a way they're very respectful.
right. We're not someone sharing their political opinion. We just
No.
Yeah.
No, they're just but you guys where they land. But
Right.
no one has ever been adamant about anything, and I've never found that.
So
Might be fun.
Politicians speak their heart and not their party when they're on your podcast.
Yeah, we have had Carmel City Council members on. Now I know all those people. And right now the city council has some in my opinion some really wonderful council members on it. And they are all very simpatico with each other. They all figure out the problem together. No matter what their party is. There's Republicans and there is one Democrat, Dr. Anita Joshi, who I know and we've had on the show. But they are all very, very they're very aware of working together. And I think they do. The ones I know, and I've known them, they do all they do all speak from their heart, actually. All of them right now.
Yep.
Good, thank you.
Good question.
Yeah.
I kind of had a similar question. You've done 75 episodes now. So if you were going to recommend like a few to start with, which ones would you invite the group to maybe listen to first? Or do you just want them to start with number one and do all 75?
Michael Murphy.
Mike Murphy, Pete Ward.
Yeah, I do Mike. I do Bonnie.
Yep.
I do I do Holly Stoltz, a friend of mine. She is a professional performer, and now she runs the educational department, or has been, at Booth Tarkington Civic Theater. Um, that one's out. So you get a little variety. Um, I
Early on, there's some really fun, playful ones too that are. Uh,
Yeah, and Scotty, I can't remember. You might remember better than I can, you
yeah.
know. But I mean, I'd say just do a variety of those people. Oh, there was the I'll tell you what was a really good one. The documentary filmmaker who did the documentary about the basketball players who,
Uh-huh.
before the NBA was formed, it was the other
Right.
basketball,
Oh,
the other
ABA,
basketball.
American Basketball,
he was
the
cool.
ABA.
Yeah, and he did the
Oh,
whole documentary on those guys that they kind of got a little screwed.
Michael Hussein. Or
Yes,
yes, Michael Hussein. Yeah.
Michael Hussein. I think that's it. Very interesting, and the documentary is really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So,
Can't believe. I'm normally not not the best with names. I'm
man, you pulled that out, Scott. I know because there's been so many. I would have to go back and look myself because sometimes we'll do two in a day, and then we'll have four in the can, as we say. We'll have four, and ready to go. Because like I said, it's not live, so they're pre-recorded, and but we do it like it's live. Actually, we don't stop. We do it
Right.
like it's a live podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Are any other questions for Cindy and Scott? Again, we appreciate you joining us this afternoon.
Great.
We're going to be making a donation in your honor to Pause and Think. Their Pause to Read programs are held at schools and libraries in central Indiana, and they offer young people the opportunity to connect with therapy dogs while practicing their reading skills. So thank you.
Sure.
Thank
Oh
you
my
again.
gosh, thank you.
No,
That's how great.
that is fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you
Very
very much.
Thank you. And
I
thank you. Yeah.
I'm quite a dog person, actually. I named my studio Brown Hound Studios, and I don't know if you've heard the barking, but that's and she's here with me every day. But that's wonderful. I couldn't think of a better group to give to.
I think it's great. I mean, animals are therapy. I think it's really important.
Well,
They
excellent.
really are.
Glad it's a good match.
Yeah.
Just a
And thank
reminder
you.
to you folks that are with us today, our next in-person meeting is April 16th, 500 Festival CEO Dave Neff. And with that, we are adjourned.